And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our Taneytown Athletic Association meeting for September 10th, 2025. We'll call the meeting to order. We will start off with association reports. So whoever wants to be the very first one, please make sure when you come up, you speak loud and clear so we can hear you, and everybody in Taneytown can hear you. Let us know your name, who you're representing, and give us your report. Okay. You want to flip for it?
I think I was told who was going first. No.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Hi, my name is Chris Deal. I'm the football director for the FSK Junior Eagles football team. This year, we've had over 140 kids sign up, and we were able to have 7 teams. We worked really hard at getting our registrations down, so our registrations dropped all the way down to $200 this year, which really was a good thing for the families of Taneytown. We were able to offer some scholarships, and we did some really cool things because we've had a lot more people donating to us. We have a big tunnel for the kids to run out on Saturdays before their games now, which is really cool if you get down to the field to look at that. We got these really nice canopies for the sideline that, if it rains, the boys can get under and stay dry. So we've got some really cool things going on with the organization. We've got a strong board that are working well together, and I think that strengthens the organization. So we're 3 weeks in. We don't have a lot of victories, but we have a lot of competition. We've had well over 22 coaches step up, which is really exciting. So the boys are learning football, they're learning the fundamentals, and they're also having fun, which is really important at this stage of the game. We also are thankful of the high school. Coach Cunningham works really hard at working with us on the 13U team because they're getting ready to go to high school next year. So many times you'll see Coach Cunningham walking the sidelines and really kind of helping the coaches of 13U get those kids ready for high school. And that's really the whole purpose of this, right, is to bring the kids through so that they're ready to play high school ball. So we're having a great year. We have a lot of great families, a lot of good kids, and we're just excited to keep moving. We've had 2 home games already. Our homecoming, I think, is October 11th. So we're putting together a committee, and we'd love to find a way to make our homecoming a community event, kind of like the National Night Out. Not like that, but you know what I mean, something where the whole community can come out. So we may be reaching out to Lorena with some ideas that we might be having as we try to make that Friday night kind of pep rally a little bit bigger, and maybe also include the community. That's how we're doing. Any specific questions?
Sounds like you've got a good partnership with the high school, and that's awesome for the kids to
Well, and
be
the city of
able to
Taneytown
have
does a
that.
wonderful job supporting us too, and we really do appreciate that. It's wonderful.
Do you have any fundraisers coming up? That was my next.
We do a raffle at every home game.
Okay.
So if you see online, there'll be a little basket that we put some money together. Sometimes we make 300, sometimes we make 500. But nothing coming up.
Okay.
Like I said, we've probably had close to $20,000 in sponsors this year, which has been huge because we've probably spent about $18,000 in equipment. So it comes and then it just goes. But we're doing well financially. And one of the things I guess is good for you guys to know is, so we're in the Carroll County Football League, and folks come from all over to play us at the home games. And if you looked at our facilities, which is Taneytown's facilities, and compare that to where we play, we're top notch, the best. And we're told that every time that people come to play with us, and they just can't believe what the city does for us. So we're thankful. Yeah.
Question. I had sent you and Sarah an email asking if you needed anything for your home games here, such as a police presence. I know last year it was requested because there was a certain amount of rowdiness after the games were over, during the disbursement, and I think the police presence kind of just settled that down a little bit so people would disperse peaceably, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, we probably had more problems with that 2 years ago in
Okay.
our last year in the Pennsylvania League, but in the new league, Carroll County, it's been a little better.
Okay.
Baltimore played us this weekend, and we were able to get through without any major events. When the police do pop in, I always thank them, and I always remind them when our next home games are.
Good.
So
Okay.
they've been a good partner in keeping an eye on things. And if I've had a concern, I've called the police station and said, hey, can you ride by tonight?
Yeah.
Because we had one situation with a coach that we did did not want there. And when we asked him not to come back, you know what I mean, I asked the police, just stop by.
Yeah.
And they gracefully did and made their presence known. Good. And one of the things we also do is we haven't worked with the paramedics here in Taneytown, but we've got a gentleman named Craig Bear, who I think is a medic for Harney. And we try to get him out for at least the 11U games on up so that he can be on the sidelines. Because in this league, it's not required to have a medic like the last league was. And we just think that's a best practice that we have to keep in place. And since the league doesn't require it, I want to do it, so the league will make it a requirement, so that happens at every field. But yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Next victim,
Hi there, I'm Stephanie. I have softball's report and cheers report. Smaller. For softball, we just started fall ball. They had their first games on Saturday. We have 4 rec teams, about 60 girls divided up in there for 8, 10, 14, and high school. We also have 3 travel teams. The rec girls had their first home game, and then the fall season for the 18U start. Our first tournament is at the Westminster
The sports complex?
Sports Complex
Okay.
next weekend. I believe the 10U girls are there as well. Fall ball has started. Cheer, we have 3 sideline teams that cheer for FSK football. Then out of those 3 teams, they combine for 3 competitions to do in November and December. On top of that, we have 3 comp teams, 12U, 14, 18U, that have 8 competitions on their schedule this year.
Question about that. Where are they competing? Like, what are the cities? Because I know they travel a lot to go.
They do. Cheer's first one is at UMBC. The second one is at Ocean City, and the third one is in DC.
Not too
That's-
terribly far.
Nope.
Yeah.
And then once sideline completes, then we end up in Poconos, at the Kalahari, and we end up
And I know that, softball applied for a self-help grant,
yes, we go to that the 24th.
September 24th? Okay, all right. All right, keep my fingers crossed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully we'll get some ball dirt.
Yeah, yep.
Does anybody have any questions? Stephanie? Or are we just we're gonna keep you up here all
I
night?
talked.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Dan didn't yell at me.
Dan didn't yell. Next.
Hi, Tisha Tracy Miller for Taneytown Baseball. We are in our fall season. This is about our 3rd week, I believe. We have 90 kids registered. We have 2 T-ball teams, 3 8U, and then 1 each at 10U, 12U, and 14U. Most of the teams are playing the Frederick County League, and we are trying out with 14U, we're trying the York County League to see what their competition and everything is like. We have Sportsman's Drawing coming up on November the 1st at Terraruba, and we do still have tickets available for that if anybody's interested. And then we're hosting a tournament, the Zombie Fest tournament, the first weekend in October, October 4th and 5th. All fields are going to be in use for that weekend. The T-ball field, they are going to put up an orange construction fence so that it looks like a fence.
Yeah. Is the embankment kind of, is it working to try to keep stormwater? I mean, I know we're kind of in a drought again where we
Yeah,
haven't
it's
had a
kind of
lot
tough to tell right now.
Right,
I
yeah.
don't know.
The Public Works guys installed a lot of piping and drain tile. I don't know if you saw the disturbed areas down in there to try to alleviate some of that.
Right.
But it's not really going to catch as much of the road frontage stormwater flow before it hits Field 2, the T-ball field, unfortunately.
So hopefully we won't have any rain that weekend. But they, like I said, they are going to put up a temporary, just orange construction fence, just so it, shows the boundaries there.
Right.
And we're going to do a 50-50 raffle at that time, that weekend as well. But there should be a lot of people in town, so that should be good for businesses.
And I believe Christine sent me the schedule. Do you have schedules posted anywhere else?
Anywhere. Should they be? Do you need them to be?
Well, I mean, I need to make sure that what's posted out there is matching what gets sent to me. I don't know whether what gets sent to me is like preliminary, and then things get, changed around, hashed out, and then they're posted elsewhere. I just need to have the most current.
I think by the time they get sent to you, they're
done.
They're done, except for one that was canceled last night and is rescheduled to tomorrow. Little
gosh,
things like
right.
that. But
Okay.
overall, I think they're pretty accurate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
And for the tournament, when do games start and when do they end?
Start at 9 a.m. Not exactly sure when they end. They're telling us there's a potential for like 6 games per day. We kind of did the math on those numbers and aren't quite sure if they can fit 6 in a day, but we'll find out.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Right.
Questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a few reports as well to read out.
I do, yes. So I've received reports from field hockey, lacrosse, and soccer. So I'll go ahead and we'll start off with field hockey. They have started their first games of the season. Everything is going well. All board and coach positions are filled. They're going to be having several food trucks going to their home games. And their clinic team is participating in a play day this Saturday in Manchester, and their first home game is this weekend. For soccer, all divisions have started playing. Their opening day was September 6th, so they're in full swing now. They have 429 players registered this season. And they are spread out over Roberts Mill Park. They're using some fields at Northwest, and then, of course, the grassy overflow parking area at Memorial. To try to squeeze some in there. Let's see. Everything went smoothly on opening day on September 6th, and they want to thank Taneytown Police Department for being present at that opening day at Roberts Mill Park and helping with parking. It's always kind of a quagmire there because the main parking lot at Roberts Mill Park is not very large when it comes to a game day, and so people try to use the Food Lion parking lot. And Wance hasn't said anything that they mind, but Food Lion, they need to have their delivery trucks get back there and have access to the loading dock and stuff like that. So they were very helpful with trying to get that situated. And that's pretty much it for soccer. And then for lacrosse, they had a try-it clinic on August 24th. They had 30 kids attend. They're planning on holding another try-it night in December at Carroll Indoor. Their spring registration will open on October 1st, and they will offer early bird pricing again this year. And I'm assuming, since we don't have facilities ready yet, that lacrosse and football will be doing the field sharing in the spring again. Thank you, appreciate that, yeah. We'll get there eventually. So that's all.
Okay. So with that, I guess you can go on to, we'll go on to old business and the update on the Memorial Park expansion.
Great. Well, I guess this is good news. The engineer will be finally resubmitting the final site plans, which include that contentious sidewalk from St. Joe's down to the park property. They're resubmitting those to State Highway and County Forest Conservation by this Friday, so in just a couple of days. So fingers crossed that those agencies approve these plans and do so quickly. I mean, I can ask County Forest Conservation if they can kind of push it up to the top of their pile, maybe for review, State Highway.
Right, that's I'm waiting for them.
On their own timeline. So once we get those approvals, those are the last two holding points, then we can move forward. We get the approvals from our planning commission. We convey easement deeds for forest conservation and floodplain to the county, and then we can release an RFP. Got to get there. Of course, these delays, I mean, we've been working with this engineer since the beginning of 2023. These delays have, of course, caused cost increases on the project, as we know, tariffs hitting, and just over time. I mean, it's been, 2.5 years, so, and prices go up every day. So we'll see what those bids come in at. But I know just the building alone has increased by $100,000. Yes, yeah. So it is what it is. We have some grant funding, a decent amount of grant funding, almost $907,000 all told. We've got a big grant from National Park Service for almost $865,000, and then through the county's share of the program, open space grant, about $43,000 on that, but every little bit helps. So that'll help offset some of the construction costs.
Are we up for another round of grant funding to possibly attach it to, or no?
Well, we've already secured the National Parks, the Land Water
Right.
Conservation Fund. We've got the program open space. We won't have an opportunity to get that
I'll do
again
that
for
until
another
that's- okay.
2 years, right? It's
Okay.
every other year.
Gotcha.
And then, yeah, we didn't put through for community parks and playgrounds, so that's basically what we've got. I've
Okay.
examined all grant opportunities, and there was one that I thought might apply, but our demographics did not qualify.
Their
for-
criteria.
Yeah,
Okay.
meet the criteria,
All right.
yes. I think the main thing is, we're doing this, we want to do it right from the beginning. We don't want to just go cheap on, just throw whatever grass seed out there and hope that it grows well, whatever. We've always
Correct.
talked about going with Bermuda grass, a hybrid Bermuda grass that's adapted for this climate, so that it's tougher, it grows shorter, it's more resilient. Things like that, things in the building, where we will need eventually, while it's being constructed, do it. Don't hold off for another time, and then it'll never get done, things like that. The field lighting, that's the whole point, one of the major features is having that lighting
Yep.
there. So that's a component that we have to put
Absolutely.
in, yeah, so.
If there's anybody watching that's rich and would like to donate to the park fund.
We'll name the whole expansion after you.
Right.
Sign with your name on it.
We'll do it up. No, I mean, we do want to do it right, and we want to have state-of-the-art feeling for you. It's just the delay that is out of our control, but it's going to happen. So, yeah. And then we're going to just jump to new business update on fiscal year assistance requests.
Right, so I think we are all finished with lacrosse, completed funding their requests. We are almost finished with field hockey and almost finished with soccer. Still working on football. I know you've got field paint and the door situation at the back of the building, if y'all still want to go forward with that. Have you been reaching out to the county? Do you have a contractor or anything like that? Okay. Right, yeah, okay, okay, all right. Yeah. Right. All the way around, yeah, in front of people and through the lines. Yeah, all right. Well, we'll revisit that offline and see what we can do on that.
The steel casing.
Oh, nice, okay, all right, good. And then baseball, well, I don't have anything for you guys. Have you guys decided? Okay. All right, okay. Well, you've got until June 30th next year to use those, the funds, so let me know, and then, we'll go from there. And I think that's it for that.
Okay. And then facilities management.
Right.
So we're sharing spaces and,
Right, so as we know, some organizations are sharing not only field space, but also storage space. I know things are really tight right now as far as adequate facilities. Obviously, with the expansion project and the new building that we'd have there, that has some storage in it, that'll alleviate some of this, but, from what I understand, everybody is working well together. There haven't been any issues. If there are, just let me know, and I'll try to help resolve those. And also for locks, we're happy to provide locks, whether that's on, a gate or a building, or whatever. We prefer combination locks, and we set the combination, we get them to you, and then you can disperse them to the appropriate people. If we do that, please don't change the combinations, because then our mowers try to get in and they're like, well, guess we're not cutting that field. We can't get in to the field, or what have you. Or if we need to get into a building and the key's been changed or whatever. So it's very important that everybody who needs access can get in there. So if you want to provide your own lock, whether it's combination or key lock, just give us the combination or a copy of the key so we have access on that. And that's all I have for that.
okay.
And again, I just appreciate everyone's patience while we try to get some more facilities.
Yes. And then just, I guess, update on everybody's schedules.
Right, yes. Everybody's been pretty good about sending me schedules. I just want to make sure that if anything changes, please send them to me, because I check those when I have outside organizations looking for field space, or somebody who wants to come in and have an event. They want to hold a car show in, whatever park. I've got to make sure there aren't, games scheduled or something like that before I tell them, yeah, that's a viable date to proceed with. That's all. Just want to make sure there aren't any conflicts.
Okay. Is there any questions for us? If you have questions, or for Lorena, if you can come up and ask those. Going once. Come on, Stephanie. Okay. Okay. Is there any public comments? Anybody here like to make a public comment? Going, okay. So with that, we are going to schedule our next meeting is scheduled for November 12th, starting at 6:30 right here. And I guess we'll be talking, I guess, at that meeting for like updated MOUs.
Yes.
Okay, so be prepared to sign. But if that is all, then thank you for coming, and we appreciate it, and we'll see you November 12th.
Thank you all. Appreciate it.
June.
All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our Parks and Recreation Advisory Board meeting for September 10th. I'm calling the meeting to order. Please note that all members are in attendance. As you can see, our board has changed since the last time we met. So the mayor and council have brought forth names that were nominated and accepted. So we have new members, so I'm going to put them on the spot a little bit, sorry. If you could just go down and introduce yourself. Want to talk more, talk about, your interest in the board, or if you don't want to, that's fine. I'm not going to force you. But I'll start down here.
Kathy Watson. I basically wanted to get more involved in the community, so decided that this was a good way to do it. I have done a lot with the Memorial Day Parade and the Wine Festival, and decided this was a group that I wanted to help out with and serve my community with.
My name is Denise Sampson, and I've been in Taneytown for about 13 years. And I love this community, and I participate in many of the park and rec things that they do. And really, when I saw this, I was like, I would like to try something new. And then I was picked, and I was like, what? Really? So here I am.
Surprise.
Yes, big surprise.
I'm going to jump down because I think people know who we are. All right, you're on.
I'm Natasha Doan, and I am a nature enthusiast and have lived here a long time and in the area my whole life. So look forward to helping any way I can, especially with the parks like Ballinger and
Well, welcome all of you. Yeah,
Yes,
thank you for your service.
we're very excited to have you on board. So thank you for stepping up, and get ready to volunteer because this is us. But we,
signed up for the drinking event.
yeah. Well, you signed up for it last year, so there you go. And now here you are, a board member, so, no, but thank you so much for stepping up and being a volunteer, and we appreciate that, so, all right. So moving on. So we did our introduction of new board members, but we do have a statement. Would like to say something to us.
So I'm excited, but also very sad. I will actually be stepping down from my role on the Parks and Recreation Board because I accepted a role with the City of Taneytown as the executive administrative position. I'm very excited to be able to help the community even more, and even more excited to continue helping with Parks and Recreation events as much as possible.
Congratulations, yeah. And thank you for serving on the board.
Well, Mackenzie has done wonderful on the board. When she stepped into the role, she got the secretary position, and then she volunteered her husband and her friends and everybody else that she could grab to help with different events. So we're thankful for that, and we hope a little bit with us if you get a chance. So we're very excited for your opportunity. Great career, but we're happy. But all right. Well, that's depressing. No.
And just a quick note on that. So since tonight is Mackenzie's last meeting with us, there, of course, then will be a vacancy on the board. So the mayor will bring forward a nomination possibly next month to council for appointment to the board.
Okay.
We might have a new member next month. If not, might be November. We'll see.
Okay. We'll see how they handle that. Perfect. All right, here comes the fun stuff. So, obviously, we had to change our terms and all of that, so we did not do the election of chair the last time.
Approval of minutes. Then. Approval of minutes.
Oh, yeah. I jumped over that one, didn't I? I'm really good at that. All right. Did everybody receive their minutes? That would have been the last meeting minutes that we met on July 16th. Had a chance to look that over. Do I have a motion to approve those minutes from July 16th?
I'll motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Have any comments, corrections? Okay. All in favor of approving the minutes from July 16th, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All right. Thank you. All right. Now, nomination and election of chair. This is done on a yearly basis. So, if anybody would like to nominate anybody for the position of chair, we will take motions on the floor.
That was quick. Yeah. Sorry.
Have any other motions for election of chair? Boy, you're quiet. Okay. All right. And so then, so we have had a motion? Okay, can I get a second for, that's weird to say. Can I get a second for the nomination of me? We have a second. All right, all in favor by nominating me? Please signify by saying aye.
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 Trusting me. I appreciate it. I will do my best and not fumble up the agenda. All right. Now that we have that, we now have another nomination, and that would be a nomination and election of a secretary. Do we have any motions on the floor for secretary?
Nodding your head, just say her name.
I don't remember, what's your first name again?
Kathy,
Kathy. I nominate Kathy.
would you be willing to accept that? At least the motion on the floor? Yes. Okay. Do we have any other motions for secretary?
Oh, gosh.
Oh, I see how this is going.
She's
Okay.
shaking her head. I don't think she's
Four
going to accept
times.
that nomination.
Yeah, I'm not going to accept it.
You're not going to accept it. Okay.
I'll nominate Natasha. That way.
So then we just got all the newbies. We've just nominated all the newbies. Okay.
I'll nominate the person that's taking your spot.
Would you, or you can accept or
Do they know,
deny?
do they know what it means to be secretary?
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
I reviewed that prior to.
All.
Yeah, you don't have to accept the nomination.
No, you
Yeah.
don't. There's no pressure, honestly. Okay. Accept or deny that motion. But no pressure.
Jerry's really put you in the spot, hasn't he?
It's mean, Jerry.
I just walked in the door.
That's how I became secretary. I
Yeah,
just sat
we
down
were
there
like, congratulations. No.
Her
This
notes
way.
looked amazing. Her notes
Thanks.
were amazing.
Okay. I mean, are you comfortable with that? I mean, Lorena
Yeah,
will
yeah,
guide
she said-
you
yeah.
in the right direction. So you're not going to be like, oh, you're secretary, and everybody walks away and says good luck. So no, you're going to get support.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay,
Why?
so the nomination was accepted, now we need the second and then the
Right,
vote.
we need
I
to get a
second that.
second. Okay.
Natasha, second.
And then, all in favor of accepting the secretary position for Kathy Watson, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Congratulations. I think Mackenzie said that she'll get this done this month, so you will start next month, so. And as I said, you'll be guided through it, so. Thank you for stepping up. We appreciate it. All right. Unfinished business. I mean, I think we've already gone through the Memorial Park expansion project.
Right.
Was there anything additional that you needed to discuss with us?
I think I covered everything. The hopeful resubmission by this Friday. The also hopeful approval by those agencies and expediently. And then our planning commission approval, easement deed conveyances, and then release of the RFP. And then, of course, we discussed the project cost increase.
Correct.
So just to give you some figures, I already gave you the grant figures, so we've got a total of 907,000 something, whatever, to go against the cost. The project cost estimate, and for the new members who are seeing, the budget the first time, you'll see that the capital outlay was scheduled or slated for 1.729 million. That was in 2023. So if the multi-purpose building has increased by 100,000, then you can kind of get maybe just a real rough idea of what we might be, looking at for the overall project. I don't know. We'll see when the bids come in, for sure. We'll go from there.
Does anybody have any questions for Lorena regarding the project? Okay. Update on general park improvements?
So as Nick conveyed in the council meeting on Monday night, the story stroll stations at Memorial Park have been revamped. The Boy Scout, William Smock, who put those in originally, did a great job, he and his troop, but the wood was really getting weathered and beat up and abused, and it was very hard for the library and coordinating with Public Works to try to unscrew those frames and get them off. So anyway, we bought new metal frames that are much easier to get into. They're secure, so they'll be fine. They look great. The Public Works guys also put polyvinyl sleeves over the wooden posts, so the numbers for the stations stand out nicely. It all just looks really good. They did a great job. The first activity down there with the new frames, the revamped stations, is going to be tomorrow morning, 10:30. There's going to be a playtime in the park.
I'll be there with my grandson tomorrow.
Oh,
so-
awesome. Yeah, the weather's going to be good. So they'll be focusing on the new story that's been put in, Itsy Bitsy Spider, and then doing some other activities. There's going to be, I think, water table, bounce house, all kinds of good stuff, all kinds of good fun. And the weather's going to be pretty, so hope we get a lot of people that come out for that. Additional riprap was installed around the pond at Roberts Mill Park. I know we've been talking about that forever, so we finally got that out there. We couldn't afford all of it to be the larger rock, so we got a blend. So we've got larger rocks and then medium rocks and then smaller rocks. So I don't know if they were even finished installing it before kids were starting to pick up the smaller rocks and toss them into the pond. The signs are posted there at the pond that says, just whatever, removing the rocks, tossing the rocks, whatever is prohibited. So,
It looks beautiful. I live on Keenan Street, and it looks absolutely beautiful. Yeah. They did a great job.
yeah, it does. It looks really nice. And hopefully that'll, help with the shoreline erosion, because especially in one area where we put the new riprap, it was getting really close to the pathway. I was starting to get very concerned about that. So hopefully that'll keep the water at bay there.
How's the fountain?
I was just gonna say, yeah, the fountain, the fountain is back in commission with a new motor and a secondary debris filter or debris basket, if you want to call it that. The original motor, we had purchased the fountain, the motor, the lights, and everything from a particular company, and the fountain kept having problems. At one point, the motor burned out, was still under warranty, so this company came, they took it away, and then they replaced it with a new motor and put it back out there, and then it conked out again. So we had a different company who's done other work for us. They're very reliable. So we had them come in, and they pulled the fountain out, and they said, this is not a new motor. They refurbished some things, but that's not. Well, so we said, fine, you give us a new motor, you put it on there, because it's out of warranty now, and frankly, I don't think we want to bother dumping money into that other company anymore. So this company they got it done, and it's out there, and it's going gangbusters. The projection up into the air is even higher than what it was with the original motor in it, so that's good. It's got some power to it, and we shut the lights off. It's on a timer. The whole thing is on a timer. The fountain shuts off, I think, from like midnight until 4 a.m. So that gives a chance for any debris that's sucked up against those baskets to drop off. And it also just helps save, the mileage on the motor, so to speak. The lights shut off at 10 because that's when the park closes. So. Really?
No.
What time did y'all go through?
Yeah, I mean, I live on the street.
Yeah.
So I see it, and I love it, and it's been a while.
All right,
Like,
I'll check
it's
that.
been a while.
Yeah, might have maybe something, the timer or something. But I'm gonna check on that. Let's see, anything else? Dan and I are looking to install some additional cameras at Memorial Park and Roberts Mill Park. Roberts Mill would like to get one on the soccer storage shed that's gonna just go out, maybe 2 cameras for all 4 fields there. So we have complete field coverage. At Memorial Park, we need, I'm thinking, we're gonna try to get 3 cameras there, 3 additional cameras there. I'd love to have a camera on every playground and in the pavilions, because, and that train, that's where we're getting just a big increase in vandalism lately. I'm not sure what is going on. Usually when school starts back up, it starts to go down, and then when the colder weather runs out, then they don't come out, kind of thing. It's awful the way I'm phrasing that, like they're cockroaches or something, but anyway. But yeah, the train, that down at Memorial Park, that Public Works so beautifully refinished and everything, that's been a target. And most recently, it was hit twice. So yeah, trying to kick the boards off, trying to kick the steering wheel off, trying to rip the smokestack off the front of it. There was an incident recently where they were observed doing this, and police responded, and the kids went away. But I have a strong suspicion that they came back to finish the job on that smokestack because they ripped it off at that point.
Okay.
So we're, it's always a chore, to have to go back and try to replace things and all that. Or repair things. It's frustrating. On that, this really isn't an improvement, but on that note, the little dinosaur spring rocker at the tot lot in Memorial Park was broken. That, I'm not sure what happened with that. Multiple people had to have been on that and really cranking it back and forth because they sheared the spring. It's beyond repair. So we had to take that out. Playground company came and patched the hole with rubber while we're waiting for a new piece to come in. And this time, we are not getting a spring rocker. We're getting, it's called a sensory cocoon, and it's basically just a big kind of, looks like a little cocoon, almost like a spider egg type of thing, with little windows in it, and the kids can get into it, and it's on a solid post, but it spins slowly. It's not like a merry-go-round or anything like that, but it's at least something interactive for them and inclusive still. When that arrives in, then we'll get that installed. It'll be good to go. We had some damage to the rubber surfacing back in April from a bad storm. A big branch from a tree, the Norway maple that was adjacent to the playground, gouged the surfacing pretty bad. So we opened an insurance claim on that, filed a claim, and we're working with the playground company to get that fixed. Their rubber crew came out and did not do an adequate job, so we're trying to get them back out. We've been on their schedule forever. We keep getting pushed, and favor of schools and things like that. So, but that should be done hopefully shortly before it gets too cold to pour rubber, or, do anything with rubber and glue anymore.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, I forgot one more thing. Public Works installed, replaced the 2 benches at Roth Avenue Park. I don't know if y'all are that familiar with Roth Avenue. So before, the old benches were just on either side of the sidewalk facing each other, and they were just old and cruddy. So we got new benches, and Public Works positioned them so that they are still on either side of the sidewalk, but they're actually facing the playground now, which is nice. Makes sense, right? So those look nice. They look very good.
How did those updates affect
Yeah, and I've been going back and taking a look at the budget. Did you all hear his question?
No.
He asked how these, I guess, non-budgeted expenditures for vandalism, whatever, item repair and replacement and such, how that's affecting the budget. Am I having to go back and move things around or cut things? And so the answer is yes. I have to go back, and I've got to take a look at different line items for things that we had planned. To see if there's something I can push until the next year.
Okay.
If you actually catch the, I'm going to use the term children loosely, are they prosecuted, and do you try to have the parents pay back the city for the vandalism?
Right, the restitution, it depends. If they are caught on our security cameras and the footage is good, or if their witnesses are, however, the police department addresses it. If the case does go to court, then the court can decide on, it's either usually restitution or community service or a combination of the two. So if we request restitution, we submit that to the court, and then they make that decision. So we do get a lot of court-ordered community service volunteers who do work in the park. I have them pick up litter, I have them rake mulch, weed playgrounds, clean the pavilions, whatever, that they can do. But a lot of the ones that are directed to me are not any that we've had processed through the system for incidents in our parks. I don't ask them what they've done.
Do we have any cameras at Roth?
No.
The only reason why I ask, and I don't know if, is it Barry that goes? Okay, so Barry, so I was passing by and I did see somebody's truck in the park, like unloading things. So just to make sure that there's no damage from like maybe people driving.
Right.
Like, I don't know how they get access to their back of their property besides in the park.
Right.
Does the daycare that operates there have an outside camera? Or the, whatever the group is? Isn't there like a daycare or in that little white building at Roberts Mill?
Oh,
That's Roberts Mill.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, Roth Avenue, which is on Roth Avenue.
Yes.
Yeah, across from Red Tulip.
It's just in a, yeah, just in a community right
Yeah.
off of Roth. I was just wondering,
You could classify it as a pocket park.
yeah. So I don't know if we have any funding to maybe just put one camera. Because I've seen
Access.
people do that, and I've even seen them do that at Flickinger Park on the weekends. Like, woo, party, and they bring their vehicles behind there.
Yes, I've received.
So I don't know if
complaints.
there's an easement or anything like that for them outside of there.
Facebook post of, hey, does anybody have a door camera that
Right,
locates
yeah.
this time and date?
Right. Yeah, I'll make a note to discuss with Dan to
Yeah.
see
It's a
what the
thought.
configuration is there and how, if,
Okay.
where the access point might be and all of that.
Okay. Thank you. Does anybody have any questions for Lorena on what she just went through? Improvements? Okay. Then we're going to move on to our last events for 2025.
I think everybody's got the updated schedule, what's left on there for 2025. I will say, we've had a lot wrap up recently. The family movie nights concluded on August 16th. Yoga in the Park finished up on August 18th. We had the tennis clinics. They finished in July for the youth and August for the adults. The Hapkido Camp, martial arts camp, ran from August 4th through the 8th. The Reading in the Parks contest concluded. Winners were announced. The summer scavenger hunts have concluded. The library and I are still waiting for 5 rocks
I was
to be
going to say, did you
turned
get
in.
all your rocks back yet? They're so pretty, I'm sure people
Right.
kept them.
Well, it does happen. We always have attrition, but, and I guess I'll take that as a compliment, I guess, my artistic skills, whatever. But I'm thinking at this point, because school has started back up, maybe it's getting a little harder for families to get into the library to drop those rocks off and get their prize bag. So I'm going to wait until the end of this month, and if they haven't been turned in at that point, then I'm just going to go ahead and take the rocks back and take the prize bags back, and then kept at their homes. So just make up the difference this winter with some more painting. It was successful. People really loved it. Oh my goodness. I mean, you'd think they were hunting for gold. I mean, they were looking for hints. They were like out there. They were competing with each other like, oh, I was just there. How'd you get that? Kind of thing. It was cute. But it was fun, and it was beneficial for the library, of course, as well, because everybody who came in to turn in their rocks and pick up their prize bag. I think they got about 90% of them to sign up for the summer reading program. And, once they're in there, they can see what else the library has to offer. So that's good. So it works out well for
it's a
both,
great
getting people
partnership.
out to the parks and getting them in, to the library. Keep the kids busy, during the summertime, so.
Parks.
Right, yeah.
Sorry.
For being inside on electronics, you know, it's
Yeah, that's true too.
Call of Duty 24/7, you know. Yeah. So that's all done. So the photography contest is open. November 1st is the deadline for that. We are already receiving entries, so that's great. We've got 3 categories: nature, which is self-explanatory; action, which is usually like sporting games or fishing, you know, or something like that; and play, and that usually involves like playgrounds, kids on the playgrounds or things like that. So you all will be the judges. Once we have all of the entries, what I'll do is compile them all in one document, and then I'll email that document to you, and you're gonna select, out of all the entries, a top prize, an overall top prize, like your favorite picture in all of them. Whoops. And then you'll go back and select a first and second place winner in each category. So there'll be the top prize winner and then 6 other winners, first and second, in each of the 3 categories. Prizes are going to be gift cards and free pavilion rental gift certificates. We got some beautiful pictures then. I mean, and sometimes it's hard to judge. I mean, I don't envy your
That is
position.
a very hard job. It is. Lots
Yeah.
of great pictures in
Right,
the past.
yeah. So anyone listening, if you've taken pictures in our parks in any of those categories, send them in. The Harvest Festival, Saturday, September 27th at Memorial Park, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. We have 33 vendors currently. The deadline is this Friday. We've got 8 food vendors, which consist of 5 what I'll call main course or entree vendors, and then 2 dessert vendors and a lemonade vendor. We've got live music by Hickory Wind, and of course, we've got pony rides, petting zoo, bounce house, hay rides, games, face painting, glitter tattoos. So it's going to be a fun and busy day, and hopefully the weather will be really good. We'll get a good turnout.
Need any volunteers for that event?
I don't think so. That one's pretty easy. The vendors set themselves up, and I just, you know, make sure the band is good to go, and, you
Making
know,
sure.
ponies are where they need to get, you know, that kind of stuff. But if any of you want to come and hang out at the Parks and Rec table and chat with the community members, you're more than welcome to. So. Yeah. yeah. It's awesome. All right, and then, let's see, next one after that is Birds and Bourbon at Bollinger. That's Saturday, October 18th, at Bollinger Park from 3 to 5:30. Tickets are on sale now. $25 per person, must be of legal drinking age. Limited to 20 participants. Guided bourbon samplings of 5 different bourbons, and a guided bird watching walk. Tasting glasses and binoculars are provided. And binoculars do get returned to us, but they can take the tasting glasses home, obviously. And they get raffle tickets for a chance to win one of the 5 bourbons sampled. This year, the bourbons are Taylor Small Batch, Eagle Rare 10-Year, Sagamore Rye Ravens, Penelope Wheated, and Blue Note Juke Joint. Kimberly Smith Fuentes of Taneytown Liquors and the Maryland Whiskey Bourbon Society, and David Smith of the Carroll County Bird Club and Maryland Ornithological Society. Ooh, that was a tough one. Will be leading the samplings and the bird watching walks. So again, hoping for good weather for that as well. I'm also, speaking of Bollinger Park, I'm also working on another event. This is new, still kind of in the development stages. Local yoga and meditation instructor, certified Samantha Yingling, reached out to me with an idea of a 90-minute event at Bollinger Park, which would include some yoga, meditation, guided meditation, a self-guided walk around the park, and then some journaling and discussion of meditation, insight, feelings. So that I think we might cap at 20 participants as well, just in consideration of the parking space there and what's, you know, there. So we're still working on the date. It's going to be sometime in October, but once we firm that up and the time, then going to go for it. Now, we'll pay the instructor fee. This will be free to participants. Her rate is very reasonable, especially since this is her first foray into a partnership with us on an event. But I just thought it sounded really nice, a lovely, quiet fall activity, and really enjoy the natural surroundings of that park, so. They will need to sign up for it, though. They can't just show up, so, but I'll have the flyer ready and get that out there and all
Is
that kind of
that
good
part
stuff.
of the, what you said, I was reading, meditation garden?
No,
That's
no, the
something different?
meditation garden is hopefully a future project, an installation. It's gonna be between the pollinator meadow and the main forest, tree line there. And that would consist of like a gazebo, like a low fenced area, native plantings, and inspirational words set, in stone pavers, maybe some inspirational centerpiece would be, it's a kind of a metal lotus sculpture, and then that would be basically epoxied into like a, the little glass beads, that would look like water or whatever with like a concrete path. But that, we do not have any funds budgeted for that, other than possibly covering the gazebo, which is, depending on where you get it from, anywhere from 3,000 to 7,000 maybe. I don't, and the materials, if you want just wood or if you want polyvinyl, or what have you. But anyway, and then the rest would have to come from donations. So there'd be some fundraising or grants, depending on how we go from there. But as of right now, that's on the back burner. Yeah, so we'll get to that eventually. The Alyssa Richards Memorial Car Show will be at Memorial Park on October 4th from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. This is a special event permit. It's number 25-002. And for our new members, if an outside organization or entity wants to hold an event in any of our parks that's like bigger than just like a birthday party, or something like that, like a car show or a dog show or whatever, they have to apply for a special event permit from the city. So they fill out that application. There's a $100 application fee unless they're a nonprofit, then that fee is waived. $200 security deposit, that does get returned if the post-event inspection is good. It gets reviewed, and they have to provide a certificate of insurance as well, very important. So that gets reviewed by me, then Public Works, Police Department. If it passes review at that level, then it goes up to council for their review and approval, and then we issue the permit. That's how that's done. That just helps us control what's going on in our parks, and again, so that way we don't have conflicts with, a baseball tournament happening, the same day that somebody wants to just show up and, no, they planned this car show but didn't tell anybody except for their people or whatever. So that is happening October 4th. Halloween decorating contest, that's gonna run 1st through the 31st of October. Deadline to submit an address would be October 15th. Now for this one, this is residential only. But for this one, and it's much like the holiday decorating contest, what we usually do is once we have the list of addresses or entries, we divide those up, try to section them by development, by area. And then we divide them up for you guys, whomever wants to volunteer to go around and drive there, take pictures and then email me the pictures. I compile them all into one document, send that to all of you, and then you judge and choose the winners. For this and for the holiday decorating contest, it's first, second, and third. So I would go with that.
It came up last year when I was talking to one of my neighbors, is that both of these contests lean toward the single-family homes, that there should be a division for townhouses or condos.
Oh. Well, I don't know about condos, but I mean, definitely for like townhouses, they've got enough frontage,
Right,
to
because
decorate.
we can't really compete with the single-family homes, but yet a lot of townhouse owners decorate too.
They're welcome. I mean, they're more than welcome to
just-
enter. Yeah, I mean, I
That'd
don't
be
know as
nice
far
to
as
be a
like
division.
appearance-wise. Yes, I see what you're saying. Like a single family with a bigger yard would have more room for decorations in that yard, or if they have a bigger porch, they have more room, for that, as opposed to the townhouse where generally, unless you're on an end, the section end, you've just got your frontage there, and that's, but still enter. I mean, they would definitely be considered for sure.
They were just saying that it'd be nice if there was a separate little category so that they would be judged.
Was something to consider. We can take a look at that this year. Yeah, Halloween has gotten bigger and bigger as far as people decorating for that. I think with the advent of those giant skeletons, people just started going crazy. They're like, yeah, this is so cool.
so
I'm gonna
cool.
put this out there, and it is. It
My
really does.
neighborhood is amazing for
Yes.
Halloween.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like sometimes people of Taneytown, you should donate candy to my neighborhood so we don't run out,
Right.
okay?
Oh, that's awesome.
I mean, but it's lots and lots of fun. It's
Yes.
lots of fun.
Yeah. So that's coming up. A trunk or treat and Tales of Taneytown are going to run congruently at Memorial Park on Saturday, October 25th from 3 to 5 p.m. If any of you would like to be a judge for the Tales of Taneytown, let me know, because that is it's very cute. You see these pets dressed up in their costumes, and a lot of the owners get really dressed up. Oh my
dressed up
gosh,
too.
yeah. For a couple of years, we had a couple of contestants. There are multiple categories of the contest, and they'd entered different categories, and they were doing set changes, costume changes in
Complete
between.
themes.
Complete themes. Yeah. It was amazing.
Oh.
It was now that's going to be a tough one to judge because they're all cute, and you want to give them all first prize, or whatever. But
I did that with my dog when I took it to a show. We had a separate costume.
I think it's awesome. I think it's great. So I'll be in touch as we get closer to that, see if I can get any of you guys if you're interested in signing up to be a judge. And that goes for you too. So. And then the Christmas tree lighting, that's Saturday, December 6th, Memorial Park, starting at 4:30 with the candy cane hunt. Santa will arrive at 5:30. And we'll have hay rides, food trucks, and choir members from Trinity performing some Christmas carols for us. So that should be cold. And then again, the holiday decorating contest, and that'll run from the 1st through the 31st of December. And those addresses need to be registered by December 12th. That's all I have on 2025 events. That covers the rest of them, I think. Yeah.
All right. And we're,
I do have some additional miscellaneous.
oh, you
updates,
do?
but,
Okay,
yeah.
go ahead.
So I already gave you the update on the Memorial Park tot lot. Wanted to let you know that the Carroll Garden Club will be planting a 5-gallon white oak tree at Bollinger Park near the pollinator meadow, actually behind the bench that's closest to the pollinator meadow. So we've authorized, they inquired, we authorized it, so that out there. So that's going to be, again, September 16th, that's next Tuesday at 10 a.m. They'll be out there. If anybody wants to go out and help the ladies dig the tree hole, I'm going to go out and see them, maybe help out if they need it. Might be calling it Public Works too. Hey, can you send a guy out here, somebody with a couple of shovels? String.
Auger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's all I have done on that. Oh, and park inspections. All park inspections are going to be conducted next month. For the new board members, I don't just inspect the playgrounds, it's everything from, playgrounds to trees to walking paths to light poles, everything. And usually there's a to-do list that comes out of that for Public Works, which they're very good about taking care of the things,
I know Flickinger Park, when it actually rains, it's a sopping mess.
Yeah.
All
I
of that
know.
back there is a constant sopping mess.
It's a swamp. And we even did some regrading back there
Right,
and
and
opened
it's
up that drain
still-
that had gotten clogged up, and that did help. So the stormwater flow was heading down there towards there, but it's still just it's like, it's in a bowl. It's at the
Yeah.
bottom of the bowl, so it's just gonna
Couple of them.
retain there. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but without some massive regrading and
Right.
we'd have to remove that playground and bring in, tons of dirt to build it up. Then everybody's yards would probably be flooding. Wouldn't be happy with that.
Well, and ours does down, like, we've got like, I guess where 3 fences meet, it's just always wet. But it's also, I think, the way they cut, and maybe they've changed it, I don't know. Like I said, it hasn't rained, so it's not,
Right.
it's not wet, so.
Yeah.
And when you do your parking inspections, I told you there's just a small section at Bollinger that the path is,
I think the Public Works guys already got that. Was that was between the trailhead and was it
And
the
going
bear
towards
or just
the-
past the bear going towards the stag?
no, it's actually when you're right, like you're going towards the pollinator garden.
okay.
It was
It's up
in
there.
that section
All
that
right.
was,
All right, I'll make a note to just double check that.
Okay.
I might just ask them to get that repaired now before the temperature dips,
Okay.
just I don't know what next month is gonna be like, weather-wise. It could be too cold to get, glue.
does anybody have any questions regarding events? All right. All right. Proposed 2026 events. Gosh, just around the corner, right?
Yeah, seriously. All right, I know that this is very small and very hard to read without a magnifying glass. The majority of these events are events that we've been doing, through the years. I don't know if anyone has had a chance to really examine this, if anybody has any ideas. The difference with 2026 is, since it is the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence, 1776, we are trying to participate in the America 250 program, and so we've switched some things around. You'll notice the July 4th weekend is pretty busy now. We've got the fireworks on Friday the 3rd. We have the Independence Day red, white, and blue run. Are you still going to help with that, Mackenzie?
Yeah, I have a
good.
map.
Yes, yeah, which is great. Yeah.
I was running off a cheap GIS system that a woman kept calling me to try to get a subscription on. That's besides the point. And it told me that it was exactly 3.2 miles. My husband and I walked said path, and it was in fact not whatsoever. So I definitely want to look at it a little bit more. The only road that I think would need to be closed is, oh my gosh, the one that's right by Roberts Mill Park.
Keenan?
No, not Keenan. The one that the gigantic speed bump was placed in. Is that Stumptown?
Stumptown.
Because I have it starting from like the Food Lion area, and like there's only one part where you have to go through the grass. Going down through that neighborhood on like the little side road that runs in between Food Lion and CVS. Down through that neighborhood, and in Stumptown, it's like the blind corners there.
Oh,
And
right.
then the rest of it's
Okay.
all through neighborhoods, and then it ends with it going back through the Food Lion parking lot.
Okay.
But I need to relook at it to make it more like an actual 5K and not 3.5
Right.
miles.
Okay.
But yeah.
Alrighty, okay, well, that's good. I think, and we'll do that, we'll figure out the best time to run that. We had already talked about it being in the morning, obviously, before it gets really hot and everything. And then later that day, I think we are proposing a parade. Oh, I'm sorry, later in the morning, 10 a.m. So we do the red, white, and blue run, what do you think? Maybe 8 a.m., something like that. That'll be,
Yeah, if people walk, it's usually like an hour and a half max for a
okay.
5K.
All right, something like that, all right.
Give it
And-
time to clear.
Right. And then if we had the parade itself at 10, and that would follow the same route as the Memorial Day Parade, that ACNB Bank parking lot down to the Kenny Shopping Center parking lot. And then on Sunday, we'll have a family fun day down at the park, at Memorial Park, like from 3 to 6. And that, actually, we're just transferring our Family Fun Food Truck Friday event that we usually have in July, in the evening, one Friday, to this Sunday, July 5th. So we'll have food trucks and maybe a band and bounce houses, the pony rides, the petting zoo, all that kind of good stuff. So that's the first thing that I thought of that we could kind of focus on to emphasize the 250. Also, I'd like to see if we can budget, or maybe I can get some grant funding to help with the fireworks cost. I'd like maybe to see if we could get a little longer show, some bigger projectiles, I don't know what they're called, some bigger fireworks, whatever, to really make it a little more special. They've been very good in past years, they have.
They have.
But I think for the 250, whatever we can
Bump it up a
do
little
to
bit,
bump it
right.
up.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Do we get donations from any of the businesses or the community organizations
I
to
have
help cover
tried.
the fireworks?
I tried the first year, and nobody was really receptive to it. I can try again, maybe this year, especially with emphasizing the 250th anniversary. Maybe I can get something with that. Generally, when the donations we see come in from the businesses or stakeholders in the community are for the wine festival. So, which is fine, every little bit helps there as well.
They could set up a tent, or some of the organizations that, a space to set up a tent for free if they'll donate a certain amount of money toward the fireworks.
We could offer that. We just have to be careful though, because it gets so crowded down there, like every square inch is needed. So we just have to be cognizant of where we'd be able to set them up, because we also have food trucks that we've got to squeeze in there in between the people. Definitely something to consider. That might be a good incentive for them.
You could also maybe incentivize the wine festival, since that has more promos with that, and be like, that could kind of tie in. If people are more lenient to donating to the wine festival, if we have enough donations, you could always be like, well, you can get the same benefits of donating for the wine festival, but your benefits would go, like, what you're donating would go towards the 4th of July. Give them, because if they care the most about promo, like.
Right.
Or signs
Yeah.
along the fences with all of the sponsors that they buy. If they give X, Y, and Z donation, they'll get this size sign on the fence. If they donate this amount, they'll get, price out those signs that, you can hang up, like you do for the kids with their names on them.
Right.
And maybe each level, which would mean that, maybe the Chevy dealership would have this size because they donated this amount, but Food Lion would have this big because they only do.
Right.
Maybe make it a little competition for them to get a bigger sign.
We've got plenty of space. We could use the tennis court fence, because that's pretty high. So we've got kind of a blank fence canvas, if you will, that we could put banners all over that for the occasion. I wouldn't want to leave them up, obviously, for, whatever. But, yeah,
Just getting some more money. for
right.
it.
No, that's a good idea. I'm not sure about other America 250 events. I'd like to maybe try to squeeze the theme into a couple of events where we can, whatever we can apply to them. I mean, we'll see. There was talk, there were quite a few ideas going around. One of them was like an old-time baseball game, at the park, and then, some other things. We're still kind of bouncing around. Does anyone have any questions about any of the events listed here, or?
You could use Winefest too as like a kickoff to the 4th of July celebration, since it's exactly a month before.
Yeah.
And I mean, red wine, white wine, blue wine.
some blue drink somewhere.
Blueberry wine. There we
Oh,
go.
blueberry wine.
There you go.
Yeah, it's possible. I was requested to see if I could get the beverage vendors to provide like historical or like old-timey drinks, but that's kind of hard to dictate because they're going to produce and bring whatever they're brewing, whatever they're producing and drinking is, So, and technically, when you think about it, I mean, beer, wine, some distilled
Or you know
are
what?
ancient anyway. So doesn't that count?
Or we could partner with a brewery, hopefully it would be our hometown brewery, that they could make a special beer.
Oh, a special
And
edition.
that if they bought something, then part of the monies could come back to us. That would help.
They did that amazing beer with Georgia's Own York,
Yep.
so I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So I think they could
All
do
right.
That was a good beer.
Tawny-
It was good.
Yeah,
that was a good beer.
Yeah, I
All
really
right.
like
A
that
good
one.
Tawny Town.
Let me reach out to them then. That's the next idea.
So anybody that purchases it, maybe if they had it ready by Winefest, if they purchased
Right.
a specific beer, some of those proceeds would come back to us too.
And I mean, honestly, they could sell it down at the brewery.
They could-
I mean,
They do have one called
Well, I'm just
America
saying,
already.
yeah. I know, but something specific, you
I like
know.
that. That's cool.
I mean, or do we want to buy some kegs of it if we do that and just sell it directly ourselves? And they wouldn't have to take on whatever.
I'm not sure, like if they produce a special edition and then we buy the kegs and sell it at the Wine Fest, and I'm not sure. I think we can do that. I'd have to check with the Carroll County Liquor License Board, I'm assuming.
We would just sell it.
We've
at
got
the-
we'd
know how
be
it
getting
works.
the one-day license anyway, so
Yeah.
I think.
But
we'd
if
be
they
okay.
made it and sold it at the brewery and just gave us
They could do
Right.
that and bring it to the Beer and Wine Fest. So the community can have their chance to enjoy it and maybe not participate in that, but they could sell it directly on that.
Yeah. All right. I'll reach out, see if we can have
All right. Is that all for, that's a lot of events for 2026, and I'm sure.
And if this Gifts and Gratitude event at Bollinger works out this October, it's well received, then I'll be, I guess, adding that one on. We can run that again next year if the instructor's interested.
Okay.
We'll play
That's
that by
awesome.
ear. Yeah, we'll play that one.
Okay. All right. So we're just going to jump. Is there any reports from mayor and council to us?
No, not Parks and Rec related.
Okay, so we're good?
Yeah.
Perfect. Do we have any additional board member comments or discussions? Okay. All right, do we have any public comments? Anything that we had discussed tonight that we need to clarify or questions? All right. Oh, okay.
Exciting. We
The
have
time that
Manager
I
coming
didn't
up.
say, hey, Jim, do you have anything for
Yeah,
us?
since everybody stared at me when you said that.
Sorry.
Well, it's
Jim
not
Lee,
every day.
Practice City
yeah.
Manager. Just wanted to take a second, thank you guys for your service and to welcome the new members aboard. Find it educational and enriching. So that's it. Just thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate that. All right, if we don't have any more additional comments, I have our next meeting date set for October 15th, 6:30, right here. As I said, the Taneytown Athletic Association won't be until November, so this would just be our meeting for next month. So if we don't have anything additional, I will take a motion to adjourn.
adjourn.
We have a second. All in favor of adjourning, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. We will see you next month. Thank you.
Thank you.